Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Adauto, and this is my review for the book called In the Country We Love by Diane Guerrero and Michelle Burford. So if you don't know who this pretty woman is, she is an actress from shows like Jane the Virgin and Orange is the New Black, and she is of Colombian descent. So this book details a very tragic, very scary, very horrible moment that she lived through when she was 14. And that is that she came home from school one day and her parents weren't home, which to a lot of people that means nothing. But to her, it meant everything. Her parents were undocumented in this country in fear of getting deported at any minute, but trying really hard to get their documents fixed. So Diane comes home and her neighbors tell her that her parents had been deported. Remember, she is 14 years old and she has no one else in this country. This book has more to do than that, but this is a crucial point in someone's life. So let's focus on this. There are over 11 million undocumented people in this country. And that doesn't mean they want to be undocumented. People want to get into this country, and the ways of getting here legally are ridiculous. It's almost impossible in some cases to even think about coming to this country. So people risk it. They risk everything to come here for a better life. And that means working the jobs that no one wants to do. That means busting your ass just to have a better life, or to give your kids, your family, a better life. So even though we don't want to see this eye to eye, it's a reality. Even if I look this way, like, this is happening. Families are getting split up. People are splitting people's families apart. So Diane lived a nightmare that a lot of people are living to this day. Someone comes, just picture this, someone comes to your house and takes your parents away from you. What kind of monster would do that? Like, so Diane was 14 when this happened to her. And did anyone care about checking if those two people, if those two Colombian undocumented people had children? Did anyone care to ask? No. So Diane was left alone. She was 14. This happens to kids who are younger than 14. No one cared to check on her. So she was lucky to have friends and parents of her friends who cared for her. So while Diane saw her parents being deported, being taken away from her, she couldn't do anything. She had to live in this country from that point on alone. Can you imagine if you have no one and that happens? A lot of people fall into horrible situations where they have to look for opportunities in dark places because this happens to them. So aside from that horrible incident, this book has very uplifting moments. It's written in a sense that you get her attitude. She uses words that she would use in regular life. You sense that realness in her writing, which I like. It makes the book more relatable and easier to read, right? She also talks about getting into Boston's Performing Arts School, which she made she made it seem like really cool, and I wish I could have gone there. She talks about college, and she talks about Sally Mae and student loans and credit cards and just these very relatable issues, I guess, that people have, right? And then she also talks about depression and how she almost tried to kill herself a few times, and how she was really she was in a deep hole of depression, and she suffered on her own. She had to find her way out of this hole. So yeah, so she talks about that. She talks about her time on Orange is the New Black. She talks about her happy moments. This is an uplifting book. This book is centered around a very, very horrible moment, but it's kind of like very uplifting. It's inspirational in a sense, because you see she went through this and look at her now. So yeah, so it's a very good book. It's not perfect. I feel like there could have been more depth in certain areas, but it's still a great book. And for being based on such a real and present issue, the issue of immigration, this is a very simple introduction to this horrible reality that millions of people are dealing with. So just for that sense, everybody needs to read this book, because she makes it so understanding and so close to you, because you care about her, and once you care about someone, you realize things that you haven't seen before, you know. For example, let's say someone, like, I don't want to say his name, I don't even want to give him time, but let's say someone very bigoted was in this situation. Let's say someone who wanted to build a huge wall between countries. Let's say someone took away his son or daughter or mother. Let's say that happened to him. What would he think now? So you care about this person, and once you care about someone, you see things in a different way. So this book, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Everyone should pick it up and read it. It's depressing, yes. There are moments where you probably will cry. There are moments where you will think, what the hell is wrong with people? But it's a very uplifting book. It's a very cheerful book in the broad sense. Think of it as a Cinderella story, right? She went through this, and now she's here. So please let me know if you've read it. Please let me know if you're gonna read it. Comment below, like the video, subscribe. Bye.